October 29th, the problem child, Jake Paul, gets back in the boxing ring to face the Spider, Anderson Silva, the MMA legend. And I'm going to touch on that in another show. But before that, recently, it's been brought to my attention that Uriah Primetime Hall, the MMA mainstay, the MMA veteran, is getting in there and making his professional boxing debut against the 30-year-old, three-time NFL Pro Bowler, Le'Veon Bell. Well, I'm going to tell you why there's a lot of stakes riding on this fight. Yes, believe it or not. Roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back to Championship Rounds. As I mentioned before, yes, Jake Paul is facing Anderson Silva. Well, a fight has been added to the undercard, including the man who retired Anderson Silva from mixed martial arts. Yeah, that's Uriah Primetime Hall, and he retired him by a vicious KO. He kind of felt bad about what he did to Anderson. But Anderson was old. No one knew Anderson would switch over to boxing and defeat the likes of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and go in there and knock out another guy and then knock out Tito Ortiz. Things are looking good for Anderson Silva, but everyone in the know knows that Anderson Silva is a shell of himself. Yeah. And that showed when Uriah Primetime Hall dispatched his ass on the night and sent him into the world of boxing. But now he gets in there with Le'Veon Bell. Yes, the former Pittsburgh Steeler, the former New York Jet, the former Baltimore Raven. I mean, I'm probably missing a team here, but he played the lion's share of his career. He played for the Chiefs as well, I think, on his way out. Lion's share of his career at the running back position in Pittsburgh. Explosiveness, elusiveness, agility, soft hands, and the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and the ball carrier vision to find his way to the end zone or just to break off massive chunks of yardage. He made his boxing debut. No, not professional. It was an exhibition against another former NFL great, and that was Adrian Peterson. Well, everyone thought Adrian would look good in the boxing ring. Well, turns out Le'Veon looked better, ended the fight. Yes, knocked his ass out, scrambled the eggs upstairs in the Peterson home. Head, whatever. Anyways, that was an exhibition. So you put him in there with an MMA veteran like Uriah Primetime Hall. And you know what? I'm just going to jump out there and say that. If Uriah Hall loses to Le'Veon Bell, he sets MMA back 100 damn years. Yes, I mean, a lot of people, that aren't MMA hardcores, that don't keep, in the know with all things mixed martial arts, they don't realize, how skilled these finely tuned athletic killing machines actually are. And because casual fans see them when they venture off into the world of boxing, well, MMA fighters just haven't done very well in boxing, all right? The casual fans see us as guys that, can't box. Like, I don't know what they think we're doing. Oh, I say we, because I'm such a hardcore fan, so I'm including myself. I know that's cute. They don't know what they're doing over there, the actual fighters, all right? Because they see them in the ring with a YouTube kid get knocked out. When Ben Askren came over, they're like, oh, MMA champion, won championship, Bellator, fought in the UFC. There's no way this YouTube kid beats Ben Askren. Well, all Jake Paul did was go out there and prove that boxing is a real damn sport. Now, I'm not saying that without Jake Paul, that's not proven. Let's say he reaffirmed that fact. Yes, it doesn't matter how skilled and how decorated, even though these guys were well past their prime, aging, tremendously when they got in there with Jake. Doesn't matter. Former world champions. Jake Paul hasn't been the former world champion of anything. Okay? So with that being said, people assumed and expected these trained, skilled, experienced fighters to go in there and handle their business. But again, Jake Paul proved boxing is a real damn sport and got him the hell out of there. Woodley on the second try. Got a little dicey, but got him out of there. Dicey in the first fight, not so much the second fight. So, Uriah Primetime Hall had all the hype in the world. Dead hype. Why is that? Because Uriah Hall got on The Ultimate Fighter. I think it was the season Chael Sonnen opposite John Bones Jones. Chael Sonnen proclaimed that you could put this guy in a title fight with Anderson Silva right at that time. And Anderson Silva was the champion. You see how ironic that was? How Uriah Hall stepping into the UFC, Anderson Silva's the champion. Chael Sonnen, Anderson Silva's one of his, if not the biggest rival of Anderson Silva, says Hall is good enough to face Anderson right now. Well, turns out he wasn't, but also turns out he'd end up retiring his ass. You can't write this shit. Anyways, so Uriah Hall has one of the most devastating knockouts in the history of the show, probably the most devastating knockout in the history of The Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, had everybody big on this guy. The hype was bubbling fucking over. But then the Ultimate Fighter finale happened, and Kelvin Gastelum handled his business and won the damn show. He gets into the UFC, Uriah does. He loses his first fight. This first official fight, not the Ultimate Fighter finale, but his subsequent fight after that, he lost that too. The hype was dying down, and this guy never got high enough to be considered as a guy that you can plug in there for a title shot because he couldn't string together enough meaningful victories to elevate himself to that point. But still, he's been in there with a lot of good guys. He's defeated a lot of guys. I'd say the biggest win of his career was probably Gegard Mousasi, whom he caught with a spinning back kick and put him out. But then Gegard got the rematch, went back in there. Even the score. Finish for finish. Aside the point, what do we have here? Uriah Hall's 38 years old. Le'Veon Bell's 30. Obviously, the youth is still on the side of LB. Le'Veon Bell. Uriah Hall lost his two last fights in the UFC by decision. He's 38 years old. But you're telling me a guy that's been fighting mixed martial arts for so long hasn't learned how to control the distance or how to punch and not get hit, how to slip punches, how to counter? He's been training this for years. How long has Le'Veon Bell been training this? That question is rhetorical. Le'Veon Bell has been on the damn gridiron. So if Le'Veon Bell gets in there in his pro boxing debut, yes, because the Adrian Peterson fight was an exhibition. So if Le'Veon Bell gets in there in his professional boxing debut and looks good against Uriah Hall, even though he's 38, that's already bad. If Le'Veon Bell fucks around and wins, that's just bad for MMA. Real fucking bad for MMA. And I don't like that. Being such a big fan that I am, I don't like when guys get in there and they sully, if you will, they sully the reputation of mixed martial arts. It's a young man's game. It's a young man's game. There's a reason why celebrity boxing is a thing, but celebrity MMA ain't a thing. And I'll let you guys figure that out. But yeah, Uriah Primetime Hall on the undercard against Le'Veon Bell. And if Le'Veon Bell wins, that's all I got, guys. What do you think about this fight? How you see it going down? How you see it playing out? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, stay frosty.